Hey everybody, what's going on? It is good to be with you once again, and of course, take a wild guess. We're going to show some records. This video is a combination of records I found in the last 3 or so digs I did over the last couple of weeks. So I'm just going to show you all the stuff I found in those digs. I did one thing I vowed I'd never do is buy vinyl records from Barnes & Noble. I never thought I would go to that store to buy records. But, hey, they were the only place that had this in my town. And I really wanted this record badly, and they were the only ones that had it in my town. So that record is Achtung Baby from U2, the reissue. I have a couple places I can buy vinyl from. I never go to Barnes & Noble, but you know, all the other stores did not have this in stock. Barnes & Noble did, and I was like, hey, I want the record, so time to swallow my pride and just buy the damn album, and I'm so glad I did. I have wanted this on vinyl for a long time. I saw this once in a shop in San Francisco, and they wanted something like $150 for an original pressing of this. That was a little too high for me. I thought, I love Achtung Baby, but I don't know if I want to pay that, and so I passed. That was like almost 2 years ago, probably longer, and well, I had time to wait, and I did for a couple of years, and here we are, reissue. And I'm so glad I got this. So glad. I love spinning this album. I've already spun it. Well, I've had it for a while, but I've spun it a few times already. And yeah, it's a fun record. It's a fun record to spin and play around with. Oh my God, do I love owning this. We all know the songs on here: Mysterious Ways, Zoo Station, Even Better Than the Real Thing, One, Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses. So many good songs on this album. I love spinning it. It came with the original inserts. Here's what the inserts look like, and it sounds really good. Now the two U2 records I was hoping to score I now have, which is Pop and this record, Achtung Baby. Thanks to the reissues, I now have them on vinyl, and yeah, here's a lyric sheet, but nothing impressive there. Yeah, but thanks to the reissues, I now have them, and I'm so happy because they sound fantastic. And it's great to hear those songs coming off the turntable. Really, really glad to put this in the U2 collection that is now, for me, complete. I don't have every YouTube album, but I have the ones that I really love, and that's good enough for me. I don't need to be a completist when it comes to YouTube, but really glad I have the records that I desired, and there they are. So U2, Achtung Baby, home at last. There we are. This is a cool album. Got this in Sacramento. It's the Goo Goo Dolls. The Audience Is This Way. This is a live recording of the Goo Goo Dolls on a vinyl record. I had a live recording of theirs on CD. That came out a couple years ago as a CD and a DVD of a concert they did in Buffalo. But nothing on vinyl as far as live recordings, so this was really cool to have. And it sounds really good. And this is just the, I guess that's a picture of the venue they played in, some credits in the back. And it's on the old school Warner Brothers label. There we are. Very cool. It's nice to have some of these songs live on vinyl, which is, you know, Long Way Down, Slide, January Friend, Big Machine. Great version of the song Better Days on here. It sounds really good. And of course, Iris always sounds great. And it definitely sounds good on this vinyl recording. I like this album. I really do. The Goo Goo Dolls were also a band that put out some reissues of their past albums. I got a couple of them on vinyl. Having this one, in my opinion, completes my Goo Goo Dolls collection. I'm not going for their earlier albums because I'm not really that familiar with them. But what I do have, I know I love from this band, and this is a really good live recording. I really do love this, and it's great spinning this one, so I'm really glad that that's in the Goo Goo Dolls collection. This is a live recording, it's a compilation album, Concerts for the People of Kampuchea, which came out, I believe, in 1982. Live recording from various bands. Whew. Let me get that out of there. So there we go. There's the back of it, and the gatefold has all the live pictures of the bands that took place of this benefit, a series of benefit concerts. It wasn't just one concert, it was a series of concerts in London, I believe. And we have the Who, the Pretenders are on here, Elvis Costello and the Attractions, Rock Pile with Robert Plant, Queen, The Clash, the Specials, Paul McCartney and Wings, and an all-star kind of jam band which is called Rockestra. And they did Lucille, great version of Let It Be from the all-star band. So a real cool collection of bands, all live recordings. The Who takes up all of side one. But great live recording from the Who. It's on the Atlantic label, both records. So 2 record set, both of them have the Atlantic label. Yeah, it's just a who's who of early 80s rock. So like I said, the Who takes up all of side 1 with Bob O'Reilly, Sister Disco, Behind Blue Eyes, See Me Feel Me, a couple of 3 songs from the Pretenders, The Wait, Precious, Tattoo Love Dogs, and the Queen on side 3, Now I'm Here. Really good live record. Here's the full track listing for those who are interested. You can pause the video and give that a look over. And like I said, here's the live pictures and essay written on the gatefold describing the events that led to this charity concert. And really cool to have this on a vinyl record. The set from the Who is really good, which takes up all of side 1. Like I said, that is a really good Who live recording. Keith Moon unfortunately had already passed away, so it was his replacement at the time. But still a great live recording for the Who and the Pretenders on here, plus other artists as well. Really cool album to have, so it's a good compilation there. Alright, let's move on. This one, promo copy of the Plimsouls, their first album, which I believe came out in 81, if I remember right, or 80. I think it was 81 though. This is a promotional copy. As you can see, hopefully you can see the stamp there. Really good album. I like it. The last few months I've really have got a good Plimsouls collection on vinyl going, and this is just another record to add to it. I think I only have like 4, but they're real good ones. This is on the Planet Records label. Really cool looking label there. And let me just lower the church down a little bit. Yeah, really fun album. I actually like it. It has the song 0 Hour, which is a favorite of mine. I think they did an EP on another label after this album. That song 0 Hour is on there as well. But really cool to find a very early pressing of this album. Very hard to find any Plimsouls vinyl for that matter, but I've been getting pretty lucky lately, and really glad I scored this one. It's in really good condition. I might have to clean the record down a little bit, it's a little dusty, but other than that, sounds great. It's in good condition. It's a promo copy, and it is all mine. Absolutely fun record to spin. Really like it. Becoming a big fan of the band, and been lucky enough to score a few of their albums on vinyl, so good score there. This next one from the Stray Cats, speaking of early 80s rock. Stray Cats, their first album. This is a UK pressing. I've never seen one of these in the store before. I'm used to the album Built for Speed, which is an American release. This is a UK release that came out in 1981, and has all the songs built for the big songs Built for Speed had, which was Rock This Town, Stray Cat Strut, Rumble in Brighton, amongst others. And the UK pressing's really nice. Comes with the original insert with band photos on it. Really cool. And look at this label, this album label. Very, very cool. I love that label. Looks really nice. I dig it. I dig it. And the album sounds great. Slightly different versions of some songs. At least they sound that way to me anyway. And this was a cool record to find. I had never seen any in the shop before in a while. So I was pretty surprised when I found this and instantly bought it. Spun it on the turntable and sounds good. So Stray Cats' first album, it's a self-titled Stray Cats. Even has that cool little hype sticker in the corner there. I like a lot, so really cool to score that. Alright, this one, Bangles, Different Light. Real glad I got this album. I like this album. I buy a lot of their 45s from the Bangles, and I always say I should just get the record, because I got like almost every 45 single that came off this album except for one song. We all know what song that is. The only one thing that kept me from buying this album is that song, Walk Like an Egyptian. I cannot stand that song at all. No offense to anyone who loves that song. I'm not a fan of that song, and it kept me from buying this album, but I figured, you know, Neil gets that song, we can just skip right over it. And that's what I did, and I now have a vinyl copy of Walk Like an Egyptian in my collection. Not a happy man, but other than that, it's a good album. The songs on here are really good. I like it. I like it a lot, and I'm glad I scored it, to be honest with you. And it's on the Columbia label. So there you go, Columbia. Their voices sound so good on here. Their harmonies are so sweet. And we just have a lyric sheet as the insert. No biggie there. Yeah, the voices sound great. The songs are catchy and fun. And if it wasn't for the one song, I would say this is a great score. It's just a good score. That one song really ruins it for me. That's how much I dislike it. But I do like the band, and they sound good on this album, so glad it's in the collection finally. A couple of 12-inch singles here. We'll try to get through these. Culture Club, Time, Clock of the Heart. This is a UK pressing as well. I don't believe this song was on their first album. I think it was released as a single, and once it became popular, I guess they released this 12-inch single. This is a UK copy, though, not an American pressing at all. UK pressing. Nice label there. So pretty cool. I think I might have seen this back in the day. This song on a 45. I remember seeing it on a 45 record way back in the 80s. And they were playing it plenty on the radio, so I never bought it. But it's cool to see it with this cover. And this was a cool find. It sounds great. It plays at 45 speed, so the song itself sounds really good on the turntable, so glad I got that one. I'm a big Bryan Adams fan. Well, from the 80s I am. And this 12-inch single is pretty cool to have. It's for the song Run to You. Really like it. This is American pressing with a limited edition poster. And let me just pull up the album, well, the album, not the album, but the record first. The 12-inch single for Run to You. It's on A&M. Very cool. And on the B side, we have the songs I'm Ready and Cuts Like a Knife. So very nice there. And like I said, it folds out to a poster, but before you fold it out, you do see these photos here. Live photos of Bryan Adams. There's some other live photos of Bryan Adams as this thing unfolds. And then of course it reveals just the album cover photo for Reckless. That's the big poster. So it looked like a pretty rare thing to have. So I went ahead and got it just for that reason, because it looked like something rare that I probably would never see again. So, and I like the song Run too. It's one of my favorite songs from Bryan Adams, as well as Cut Like a Knife and I'm Ready. The 45, the 12-inch single plays at 45 speed and really makes the song sound great. So really glad I scored that. The last 12-inch single in the piles from the Talking Heads is for the song And She Was. Wasn't sure if I had this yet. Took a chance, bought it, came to the Talking Heads collection, saw that I didn't have this yet. So real glad I got it. Yeah, it's a maxi single, and it has the extended mix of the song And She Was. And on side 2, the song Television Man on side 2. Really cool collection of songs here. It's on the Sire label. That is a Sire label, right? I believe it is, I'm not sure. So there we go. Really cool song. I always loved the song from the 80s. I always loved the video. So it's really cool to have this as a 12-inch single. Really dig it. Got this from a shop in Modesto called Cornell's Records, which just opened the last year or so ago. And every time I buy something, he always has this listing here. He puts down that it's a gold stamp promo, and all the other various information about the record is always labeled, as is most of the stuff I buy from his store. Really cool that he does that. So really glad that this is in the collection now. So there we go. So that's all the 12-inch vinyl there. I got some 45 singles here, and we'll try to pop through these really fast as well. Starting off with from the band R.E.M., The One I Love, one of my absolute favorite songs from them. I don't think I've ever seen the 45 of this before, so I'm really glad to have scored it. It is on IRS. This is a promo single, so it's the same song on both sides. Really cool. Another 80s, I think all these are 80s songs, really. Whole stack of 80s 45s from Johnny Hates Jazz, Shattered Dreams. Really the only song I know from Johnny Hates Jazz. I don't seem to recall any of their other songs. I'm sure they have plenty of other songs. This is the only one I remember, but I really do like it. Always have, so nice to have the single for it. Very nice. I had this on a 12-inch single. Thought it'd be cool to have a 45. Huey Lewis, The Power of Love. We all know it's from Back to the Future, the movie soundtrack. And back to the song Bad is Bad from the Sports album. So really cool find there, because I always loved that song. One of my favorite songs from 1985, and from one of my favorite movies, also from the year 1985, of course. From Janet Jackson, Let's Wait a While. My second favorite ballad from her. I think the first one's Come Back to Me. I have that on 12-inch single. It'd be nice to find that on a 45 too. But I don't think I've ever seen this on a 45, so this was a cool score. And a great ballad from her. Voice sounds really great on this song, on the A&M label. Yeah, her voice sounds really nice on this song. So we're glad to have it on the 45. This seemed like a cool find right here. It's from Pat Benatar. The song is Fire and Ice. It is a picture disc, and it sounds really good for a picture disc. Really good picture of Pat Benatar there. And as always, it's hard to take it out of this plastic, but I'll take it out so you can see it better. There we go. Nice photo of her. Here's what the back looks like. And on the B-side is the song Hard to Believe. This looked like something rare, so I went ahead and got it. It was, I think it was like $5. I thought it looks like something rare, collectible. So, and I like Pat Benatar. I like her music. I like her voice. So real glad I got that. Couple from David Bowie, the 45 for the song Modern Love. I love this 45 because I love this song. And on this 45, the side A, we got the studio version of the song. Side B has the live version of the song. And both sound fantastic. It's on EMI. The live version really sounds good. So this made it one of my favorite new 45s that I bought. One of my favorite songs from David Bowie, just absolutely killer. And another one from David Bowie, Let's Dance. Everybody knows that song, Let's Dance. Love that song, always have. Sounds great on here. And also on the EMI label. Back with the song Cat People, which is another song I really like from that album. So nice to have them both on the 145. This is some really cool 45s from David Bowie. Real fun to spin both of those. This next one is from the band The Time for the song Cool. As you can see, it is a jukebox record, so there's a label for it. I thought that was a cool thing. It's on the Warner Brothers label. And if you ever had the album version of Cool, you realize it's a long song. They go into a long jam. And that's the version we have here, but they put it on two sides, part one and part two. So, really cool to have that. Something I've never seen before, so I thought that'd be a good thing to get. A couple from the band Heart. The first one up is If Looks Could Kill. I never knew there was a 45 of this. I didn't even realize this was a single. I have this album that's from. It's the self-titled Heart album, which was, I think, came out in '85. And it's a promo copy, so same song on both sides. And yeah, it sounds great. Like I said, I never knew this was a single. And it's a good picture of the band from back in the 80s with the big hair and the fashionable clothes there. Their stylist really gave them a big makeover, didn't they? But really cool. Another one from Heart for the song Who Will You Run To? One of my favorites from the Bad Animals album. I believe this was a successful single for them. Of course, Alone went straight to #1. I don't think this one did, but it did crack the top 10. This was always my favorite song from the album Bad Animals. There's the album cover right there. Really great song, really great song. It has a live version of Magic Man on the B-side, recorded in 1986 from Japan. Really cool to have that on the 45, so there we are, on the Capitol label, so really good find there. So two of my favorite songs from Heart. This one from the Thompson Twins, Doctor Doctor. Always like that song. Nice to have it on a 45. I do have it on a 12-inch single, but it has a slightly different version than what you hear on the radio, and this is just the version we hear on the radio. Really great song. I always loved it. Arista Records, so real nice. This is pretty cool. Another one with a poster from the band Big Country, Fields of Fire. Really cool. I'll show you the record first. There is the record on the Mercury label. Really nice. And it's basically the same song on both sides. So Fields of Fire on both sides. Like I said, this folds out into a poster. Let me see if I can get it unfolded for you. And it's just a band photo with the band logo on it. Just to give you an idea what it looks like. There we go. Look at that. And that's them from the 80s. From their first album. Really good photo. Very rare poster. So I like finding those rare things like that. And this was a good score. Produced 2 singles with posters. Bryan Adams and now Big Country. And good song. Really good song. And just nice to have something rare from them. So very cool find. And 2 ladies of rock. Pat Benatar, Invincible. One of my favorite songs from her. Side A has the version we hear on the radio. Side 2 is the instrumental version of the song. Always loved this song from Pat Benatar. It was from a movie, and I forget what the movie was called, but it wasn't a very successful movie, but the song lives on. And always loved Pat Benatar's voice, and really glad to have this on 45. And one of my favorite female singers, Stevie Nicks, Stop Dragging My Heart Around, featuring Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Real classic song from her first solo album. I was really happy to find this on a 45 from the Modern Records label. Very cool, very cool. The second song on the B-side is My Kind of Woman, which is actually a really good song. And sounds great on the 45. And I'm real happy to have scored a decent copy of it. I have seen this before, but this cover is usually all beat up. The record looks like it's all partied out. This is actually a good copy, so I'm glad I got this. It's a great song, too. And that'll do it. Well, not quite. That doesn't quite do it. I bought a cassette, too. I don't really buy cassettes that much, but this one looked pretty good. It's from Bryan Adams. It's just called Live, Live, Live. And it's a live recording from his 1988 tour. And features a lot of the songs I like from Bryan Adams. A lot of songs from Reckless, Cuts Like a Knife, and Into the Fire. In fact, it has a live version of Into the Fire, but just Bryan Adams singing on a guitar by himself, not the band. But this is a really good live record. I wish this was on vinyl. I would buy it. It's a good live recording. I really dig it, and really glad it's now in the cassette collection. It was a good find, and only for a couple bucks, why not? So Bryan Adams, Live, Live, Live. Please release this on vinyl. I would buy it in a heartbeat. It's a great live recording. Alright, that's going to do it, folks. That is my dig from the last couple of weeks or so. Good to be with you guys again. As always, leave me some comments, and I promise I will get back to you. It's always great chatting with you guys, and great hearing your feedback. It's always appreciated. It's always welcomed, and I always have a good time talking to you guys. All right, that's going to do it. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you at the next one. Later days.